Welcome to the Occupational Safety Leadership Podcast, episode number 325. Today we'll talk about the 24-hour hazard reporting challenge, which I have fallen short of quite a few times in my 30-year career here. But before we get started, I want folks to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. The whole point of my podcast is for people to profit from my pain, hear a couple of the different experiences, look at different strategies and perspectives. And some of my episodes are don't do what I did, also. Um, a lot of my lessons are lessons learned the hard way. And some of them I just easily, naturally was able to navigate, and others it was a lot of failure. But with every failure, of course, there's going to be progress being made forward. So this really helps me to get the visibility, get this out so as many people as possible can see this, hear this, experience, and profit from my pain. So let's go ahead there and get started then. So in today's episode, I want to talk about a 24-hour hazard reporting challenge. Now, as safety professionals, I know we're busy. We're not all sitting around the office with our feet up, waiting for something to happen, hoping for something, got to do something today. So I totally get it that you don't need something else to think about and worry about today. But if you have a hazard reporting process, then is there a mechanism in there that says you will get back to the person in X hours? You know, and I say 24 because that's just naturally that's a day. I know that we also have other things to sit down and tackle every day too. Then but if you do have a system in place, what mechanism do you have that says I hear your concern, I follow up with your concern? And many times folks have different definitions. Some people view it as I've started the process, and we're going to look at our plan and build a team. Others will do almost like a tiger team, thrust everybody on there as quick as possible, come up with a plan, have everything as done as they can in 24 hours. Now they probably have to order parts and do different things. So there's a lot of different takes to this whole thing. The only thing that I'm asking for is let's just really focus in, hear what people say, make sure that we get back to them in 24 hours. So, in an ideal world, we would do it in person. We would walk right down either on that factory floor, um, the chemical plant. We would whatever mechanism that whatever industry that we're at, we would go right there and we would talk to the person. We would do eyes on. I know that's not always realistic, given that sometimes we tackle multiple plants in multiple states between the traveling involved and everything else. So let's just really focus in on let's just make that initial contact, do everything we can to see it in person, not just a hey, thanks a lot for the email, I'll follow up. Now of course that does count as reporting back. That does count as hey, I hear your concern, I hear this, but that also shows to the person that maybe I'm just a number. Maybe they really don't care about safety here. Then, so any time that we can do to make it a little more personal, you know, we see it, we see it in person. We shake hands. We want to look at just anything that we can do to help to make them know that we do take it serious. So now there will be times, of course, so let's not paint ourselves into a corner. There will be times when you will have to go and talk to somebody and say thank you for like reporting it, and everything else. And as bad as it sounds, we add it to the queue. We have a lot of things to tackle. This is not that it's not a high priority for the person. It's just not a given all of the things that you're working on, because you always have to worry about the greatest hazard. What's going to be the thing that hurts the person the most? Um, Paper cuts, tripping on um, wet wet floors, all that kind of stuff, is is part of everyday work. It is a hazard. It does have to be addressed, of course. But when we sit down and think about it, there are greater hazards out there. So for me at least, I like to work on, what can really hurt a person from a severity standpoint the most, and work down. So with that, let's just go ahead there and wrap it up today. So I want to challenge everybody for having a 24-hour hazard reporting process. If you don't even have a process, and you know, ask yourself, so a person submits something, do they talk to the supervisor? Are they talking to you? How is this done? Is it just a form and it goes to the safety department, and somebody somewhere opens up the email and then says, okay, I now give this project to the following person? Like, what process is there, and how can you make it better, more personal? Do the follow up, So I have seen when these things go to a department, they always assume somebody will tackle it. It has to be assigned to somebody. It has to be a champion. Champion has to know the project is mine. The project is not somebody in the safety department. Somebody in production will tackle this. Thank you for joining me. My name is Dr. David Ayers. Have a safe day.